Yo, what up? Eusebius here, back at it again with another video. And if you're new here, I am what the medical field would call psychotic. That does not mean I'm dangerous, that does not mean I am violent, that just means I exist in a state known as psychosis, which is a disconnect from reality. In simple terms, I experience things that aren't real, such as hallucinations. There are many other symptoms that include disorganized thought, racing thoughts, or inability to remember, a cognitive distortion. But the one thing that I realize that a lot of people like to hear about are the hallucinations. So, this is a little series called Art of the Mentally Ill where I go through art based upon what I feel, experience, see, hear, etc. when it comes to my condition. So, if you're new here, hi, welcome. I know a lot of you really like these videos, so I'm doing a lot more of them. So, without further ado, let's get into the art. This artwork is what I like to call the mime. Now, you may be sitting down thinking, Eusebius, what the fuck do you mean by a mime? That looks like a fucking demonic clown. I'm here to tell you, yeah, it does look like a fucking demonic clown. But the unique thing about this one is, no, I did not hallucinate it, but I did make it to express a certain feeling. So, if you see my other Art of the Mentally Ill videos, you know that over here, the sharp white teeth are a little bit different from what I hallucinate. A lot of things that I hallucinate either have dark yellow teeth or some sort of off-white color, but never actually white. I do create a good number of art pieces that are just in black and white, so I do leave it as white, but just know that when I do draw in color, I make it that weird shade of yellow or that off-white shade. That's a car going outside, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on, you look at the eyes and the nose, and you can obviously see that, yeah, there is a lot of inspiration taken off other pieces of art that I've created. Now, what does this mean? Well, throughout my life as someone who has been diagnosed with a psychotic mental disorder, a lot of the time you have to pretend like you are something you're not. I'll take you through a little story. I, well, I was sent to a psychiatric mental hospital for the second time and the third time for my increased amount of symptoms. When I came back from the hospital and I returned to school, it was like the entire world had found a norm that was one without me. Sort of like people not really talking to you anymore, or people ignoring you or pretending like you don't exist. And I would say a lot of the time maybe that's just my mind playing tricks on me, but when I have a conversation with someone and they act like I didn't say a thing, yeah, I mean, it is a bit different. And I do think it's part of my fault because I told one person about my condition and that person told a bunch of other people, and it's just been rough. So, what does this have to do with a mime? Well, for mimes and clowns, you have to act like you're something that you're not. That is what I felt like for the entirety of my remainder of my senior year at high school. I felt like I was pretending something to be something that I wasn't. Okay? A lot of the time when I came into class, I stuck to myself. I didn't talk to anyone. I tried my best to be happy and lighthearted and act like, oh, nothing's really affecting me right now. I don't feel bad. I feel great. I feel normal. But on the inside, it's just painful. And that is essentially what I wanted to convey in this drawing. You can see on the cheeks, or not necessarily on the cheeks, but above the mouth, that there are these strange designs over here. And I like to call it the one and the die. The one is a little swirl that has a lot of puffy edges that I wanted to resemble what I'd imagine a plane going straight through a cloud would look like. The twirlingness around the plane, like the plane would enter over here and it twirls around. I like to think of a plane as my ability to move on in life. I like to think about how going straight through that cloud without stopping, without being hindered, without being pushed back, I like to imagine that is what I aspire to be like. Someone who, no matter what's in front of me, is able to go through, and someone who is able to persevere in the face of difficulty. Now this one, I really don't really have a lot of backstory to it. I just thought that it would look interesting, that I would find some sort of way to portray what stress would look like. Stress turning and winding in things in ways that you wouldn't understand. And I just drew something that I felt like resembled stress. Now, what are these speed lines over here, around here? Well, I just wanted to put speed lines to emphasize how intense your symptoms can be, how intense what other people say or think can be, how intense having this psychotic disorder is like, how intense having 2 anxiety disorders is like. It's just, there are no words to describe it. So yeah, anyway, that is the Mime. That is this piece of art. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you're in a emergency, there are always links down below for you to find some sort of help, and you can text me, DM me if you need someone to talk to. I'm always here for you, and I hope you enjoyed. I shall see you guys in the next one. All right, mahalo nui loa. Oh wait, no, that's not what I say anymore. Ahui ho malama pono.